Things. It's only 3 weeks till Saturday for Chamak, and he's an important player for us, so I don't want to take a chance if it means risk of losing him for 6 weeks. Are you with me? So we'll play it by ear with the physios and Chamak, really.
Still got a chance though?
Yeah, still got a chance. He's training, he's trained last 2 days, I haven't felt anything. Feels good, but I was quick myself, I used to have hamstrings myself, so I know you can do all the training and then on a game you do something without thinking about it and you pull it again, so you've got to be ever so careful.
You're looking to add to your backroom staff. Ronnie Yepson's to come in. Your thoughts on why you brought him in, and also Keith Curl said publicly he spoke to you about coming, but he wants to be his own man. Is Kevin Blackwell under consideration as well?
Well, no, Kevin's just helping me on a match day. That's all. He's looking up in the stand at the matches. Ronnie, we've been short on staff really, and I'm still looking, for the right person. So it's a matter of just trying to increase the sort of the numbers that we've got, really.
What about the loan window? Paddy McCarthy and Guardiola and Ramage and Jerome Thomas, many of them expect to go out?
Not before, obviously, the Newcastle game next Wednesday. The lads who I haven't seen play, I've not seen some of them play yet, other than in a practice match. So the lads who I haven't seen play, I will watch them against Newcastle, really. And then, I'm sure there'll be 1 or 2 leaving on loan after that game. But I want to see them all, really, if I can, in what would promise us to be a very good game, really.
Many of those 4 have said to you, look, Ross, understand it's difficult, you've got top quality here, I'm not going to play, can I go out?
Well, I think it's good anyhow, it's different now because it's not like Glenn Murray where I've lost him till January, and because he wanted to play games, desperate to play games, whereas here we can lend them for 3 months but have them back after 28 days. And with October, November having international breaks in both months, they're only going to miss sort of 3-4 games, and then we can have them back at a. But at the same time, they can keep him fit then by playing. So I think it's a good thing that we can do this, from now until January, so that they can actually, if we then need them back after a month, they're match fit ready. Rather than, it's hard when you're not playing week in week out to keep that sharpness.
Is Paddy McCarthy?
Paddy's
interesting. His former manager here, Tommy Friedman. Is that likely to happen?
I don't know, I read about it like yourself, so that's the first I've heard about that. But I've already had a couple of other clubs in the Championship would have him tomorrow, and so they're not going to be any shortage of takers for people like that.
How has Balassi taken to be dropped to the bench there at the weekend, having been a regular starter at the start of the season and last season? Well,
it's a squad game. I think when you come back 24 hours before a game, after you haven't seen each other for 2 weeks, I think you've got to expect there might be the odd manager might not be pleased that much. So you've just got to accept things and move on. It's a squad game, and it'll be important the rest of the season.
Does he now realise that he's got a major fight in his hands with Zaha here?
Well, it's just great to have competition. We're going to have, I think in the West Ham game, for example, Punchin was suspended, and they didn't have a lot of choice pace-wise, so it's imperative that you have at least the numbers that we've got now for competition.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you've won your last 2 matches against Leeds since you left Sheffield United. The Cup
against Leeds?
Against Everton, sorry. Right. Since you left Sheffield United. You beat them in the Cup for Leeds.
We did, yes.
You beat them in the game with QPR.
That's correct, yeah. Yeah, we did, yeah. So long may it continue,
Jackie Elka.
Yeah,
he's from Sheffield United. He's taken a bit of criticism since the World Cup. Took criticism at the World Cup. Was dropped for the first qualifier against Switzerland. Phil Jones played, and he's taken a little bit of criticism for his Everton performances this season as well. Do you think that's justified?
I think he's just got to be proud of what he's achieved. Really, I think I had him as a lad, and they were telling me that he was a right back or a central midfield player, and together we found a position for him, and to see him playing at the World Cup was a fantastic achievement. Smashing lad, got a lovely family as well. But I think that the answer to the critics is what he did last night. I thought he was superb last night, so that's the way to answer people, by turning out and playing, and I'm sure the Everton fans they might be even happy if he don't get picked for England, the Everton fans, because he does a wonderful job for Everton. He has done for many years. I remember talking to David about, I talked to, I think it was Arsene Wenger and David about that if we did get relegated, he's the one you want to sign.
But in terms of now, how he's developed and the fact he was the main man there with Cahill, and now there's question marks dropped in England, his character, what's he like in terms of handling that, those blows?
He's not, he's just a level-headed lad. He'd not even bother about any criticism or anything. He just turns up for training each day. Like I say, he's got a lovely family, and I would imagine from Roberto's, you know, I think managers have players definite on the team sheet every week, and he's one of those. And you know, he's lucky to have him as Roberto. He's a fabulous player. You know, it's you would get in any team in the Premier League, I think.
You don't want to see anyone injured, but how relieved are you? Ross Bartley will not be facing his son.
Well, Ross,
you worked with him briefly, didn't you? At least when he was
yeah, I mean, Ross he's a wonderful. I mean, his first day he goes out training, kicking balls and taking free kicks at sort of 9 o'clock in the morning, and stays on after training. It was difficult at Leeds because we couldn't find it. The only position for me he can play to the best of his ability is without any responsibility behind the striker. And Roberto managed to give him that freedom. He had so many good players that they could give him that freedom, and he's just blossomed. And hence now the confidence is one of the first on the England team sheet, I would imagine, in the squad. So he's done really, really well. We struggled at Leeds because we had McCormack as well, and he could only play that position really as well. So he was a fan's favourite as well, so it was difficult there. But Ross, you know, sometimes you don't always get out of the game what you put in, but he's now reaping the rewards of what he does because he trains and he wants to improve, and you know, having a manager like Roberto, you know, telling him about the improvements that are needed will only help him. He'll be a tremendous asset for England and Everton over the next few years.
Neil, obviously there's much made of European hangovers, if you like. Do you expect Everton to rotate or take advantage of the
I don't know. I think you saw that last night. I think Roberto, he's sort of taking it on board. They'd love to win the competition. You know, you watch Leighton Baines. They're all level-headed lads. You know, I met a few when I spoke to Jags a couple of games when I covered it for BT. You know, and the thing about Everton's players, the feet's all on the ground. There's nobody that's above themselves, and I think that makes for such a great dressing room. And I would imagine every one of them will want to play on Sunday that played last night. You know, that's how they are. And when you're playing well like they are at the moment,